Hey, Tracy Lewis from Stuff and Things. I'm working on projects today. My wrist is doing awesome. I got to craft with Libby this week and I'm working on some blog hops, so I'm pretty much back to normal. The wrist a little bit on the sore side, of course. And I have this new set that I just got, Friend Like You. And it has the stamped grass elements. You can add the cattails to make it look like cattails, and then there's this other grassy element that you can add these floral tops to. So, inside are two dies. Well, there's three, but we're not going to talk about the tropical and we're not going to talk about the dragonflies. We're not going to really talk about this one. Short of a quick, I haven't used it yet, but here's what I have done in the past with these fancy border dies, as I call them. You can run, say, a green, a yellow, and a pink, and maybe an orange. So you run this through 4 different colors, and then what you can do that's really fun is to just snip off each of the flowers in the colors, and then mix and match them to make, say, 4 different cards. If you do 4 greens and then the 3 different colors, these tall ones could be done in like an old olive if they're more of a grassy sprig. And then if you run this in grass green, and then maybe you have either mossy meadow or old olive for these for a darker green, or maybe you could go a lighter yellow. And then of course all of these flower tops in their own color make just really cute. You leave the green, all the green on, and you just apply them with a dot to the top. And that's all I really want to say about this one, and I don't have an example yet, but I will get to it. Then I want to talk about this set, which clearly is cattails, and what I want to use it for is grass. So I have discovered a way to make it a nice grass border. So I have one cut in granny apple green, and I am going to show you. If you go at an angle, you can kind of make it look more like a grassy top, you know, like wheat, sort of. You can, if you want, go both ways. This one looks really good, so I'm going to leave that alone. That one, any of these, if you cut them in such a way, like this one's straight up and down, so if you want it to look straight up and down, see, you can just do both, and there's your little tip. You can make them long. There's another grassy tip, and I will show you a completed card. I have a card front already colored to put this on, and I just find this the easiest way to turn these cattails into grass. So now in my eye, this looks like grass to me. So I have a card front that I did some coloring to, and if you add that on the front of there, you get a very nice front of grass. So that way you can extend this wonderful border die to have it be useful in flower scenes. Then I will show you a finished project. This is a project, I got the inspiration from a Pinterest pin that just had the cattails and the dandelion wishes. These are embossed with clear detail, and I went ahead and used foam strips versus dimensionals. The foam strips are just an easy, quick way to get the card layered up. And I added the lace edgelet, that's a floral element. I did it in black to be a silhouette, but I could easily see redoing this, and I probably will. If I have this one started, I'm going to use the notion of adding flowers to the top. I just told you about the trick of taking these flowers in the colors, so I will probably use the flowers on this detail. I could snip off each of these, but I think I'm gonna gonna go with more of a variety of flowers and cut off the tops from this set. And before I had some edgelets like that I would mix and match. So the second one of this that I will do will be with green, and I'm not sure what color the border will be. It perhaps will be a coordinating green. The background I still like will be blue. If I use this background, see the top is blue. I did go ahead and spray with water to get water droplets to add more depth. On this particular one, of course, I have way more blue, and the green is just peeking out from behind the black, which was my intent. And as you can see, I snipped off the tops and totally converted it from cattails to grass. I have decided to continue on making a blog hop project using the technique that I just talked about, and I'm continuing on. I'm going to use the colors for this hop. This is the Stampin' Up hop that this month, well, yes, this month is Granny Apple Green, Blueberry Bushel, Lovely Lipstick, and Silver. So what I have done is started with a card front that is heat embossed with silver. Oh, sorry, hub's moving. And then I sponged with Blueberry Bushel and Granny Apple Green. So now I have already shown you how to convert the cattails into grass, so that is finished. I have cut the front piece, and I am going to snip off some flowers. Alright, so I have some flowers cut. They're hard to pick up. Nope, I want one more of those. Alright, so I'm going to go away and get these all attached. I will come back and show you more of the assembly and getting the layers all built up. And that is somewhat what it will look like with the grass behind, if I can sneak it. And there'll be a foam strip along separating the two so that there's some depth. And I will be back shortly with some further steps into the assembly. I need to cut the frame, figure out some colors, and then I'll be back. Hey, I've decided on my matting colors. Here they are. I haven't added any height yet with the foam strips, so I thought I would show you that part. And I still want to add rhinestones to the centers of the 3 dandelions, but I will wait on that. What I did do with the flowers, I have a yellow jelly roll pen for making flower centers, and I just put some dots in the centers of them to add a little more depth to it. And now I will get these strips out and show you how I use them. Actually, I already have one out. Here it is. So I start and I've already adhered the grass and the flowers to their relative pieces. I am going to add this to the base. There will be no white. I have decided no white on this one, which is a little bit out of the norm for me. And I don't normally do fancier cards, so I thought this would be kind of a fun challenge to myself. And I will not cutting well at all, huh? There we go. I want it in enough so that it won't really show, but my placement, I have to be really careful on the top, because you'll see that where I want the happy birthday doesn't offer much of an overlap, which means I am going to have to put my top piece very close to the inner edge. So maybe if I turn it this way, I don't think you have to go all the way to the end, but I would say if you don't want any sagging of your frame, to make it as complete a square as you can, or a rectangle as you can. So that's what I'm going to use. Alright, so get rid of the pink. The trick is to make the happy birthday, that's my focus. The happy birthday needs to be as centered top and bottom, top and side, as possible. And see, it ends up being crooked because to have it line up straight to my eye means, because I did not cut the back piece straight and square. So that is going to work. I will go ahead and apply some tape. So what I'm going to do, I do not like wasting the center. I'm going to go away now and cut out a shape to put in my stash for future use. So I will be back momentarily. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, I cut out a rectangle to use later. I had to make sure that I had enough for adding the adhesive. Oop, it's the wrong card. And I have the adhesive already on this piece. I think I'm going to go with that. And remember, I am putting it on a blue that is going to be adhered to the card front. So I'm just double checking my matte thicknesses. I did, so when you use the rectangle, I used the largest rectangle, skipped the one closest to it. So there's another one in between here that I did not use, so I could get my border. But when you compare the rectangle to a full 5.5 by 4.25, which is what all of my pieces are cut down to, you can see that from the top and bottom are not equal. So I did have to trim off. Whenever I use this as my largest mat, I need to trim off a tiny bit. And that has already been done. If you were wondering about that, because you have this and you've already figured that out, yes, I do calculate for that. I'm going to add more snail here. Alright, so that, I won't even put it on the base, because that I can work on my own time. And I want to show you the finished product, and I want to add the stones. We'll put some large ones. And that completes my Stampin' Up card color challenge with Granny Apple Green, Lovely Lipstick, Blueberry Bushel, and Silver. Hopefully you found this interesting and you will be inspired to do a nice multi-layered edgelet, or border as I call them, die project. I like the depth that you get. I purposefully colored the Blueberry Bushel darker in each of the flowers and then made it lighter around, and then I did, you can see the water, here's a bigger water drop. I was going for kind of an artistic background to offset the rigid stiffness that you get with the die cuts. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.